our guest tonight, who's going to come on and train, brand new to the business, been here less than 2 years. He was in medical school before he found Family First Life. He saw a posting on Facebook, and the girl that he saw post, Marissa, how do you say her last name? Why can't I say her last name? Frank, what's Marissa's last name? Marissa Maggio. There you go. Saw her and said, what is she doing working until 9 o'clock at night? I got to find out more information about this. So he ended up coming aboard here part-time, and then he did that for a while, and then he came aboard full-time, and his first full year with the company has done $550,000. He's on pace to do over $500,000 this year. He's at $250,000 already, and he's done it with all leads that everyone has available to him today. So we're going to have our guest come on tonight. He's going to let us know exactly what it looked like in the beginning when he was part-time, when he transitioned to full-time, and what exactly it took for him to be a top producer here at Family First Life. He is in the top 0.5% of the entire company in terms of production. So, Rami, are you there, buddy?
Yes, I am. I want to thank you and Frank on having me on the call, guys, tonight. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, man. If you can come on, just kind of introduce yourself to people, what you were doing before you got here, kind of gave a brief explanation what you're doing, and then how you found Family First Life and what it looked like in the beginning and what your mindset was and what it took to be able to do $550,000 in your first, 12 months here at the company.
Of course. So when I first came to business, guys, I came in part-time, so I'll touch on that a little bit. So I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I basically was in medical school, and I became a physiologist, basically working in sports medicine, helping in the cardiac and pulmonary rehab. And I've known Marissa, Maggio, and Christina for over 15 years. Now, me and Marissa dated a long time ago. I'm talking more than 12 years ago. And at that point in time, I've always reconnected with her. We've always been in contact. So at one point in time, like Mike said, I saw on Instagram, this is back when we can post how much we were making, not in families, but in actual issue pay numbers. I'm seeing all these crazy figures get posted, and I'm like, all right, what is this? I'm like, is this real? What's going on? So I decided to message Marisa, and I started talking to her a little about it. I'm like, hey, what is this? She explains to me that, all right, she owns her own insurance agency, and then she works basically for insurance companies. I said, okay, interesting. So I kind of, I didn't really ask too much more into it. But then I started to talk to her more again. We started dating. So at that point in time now, guys, mind you, I'm still working in the hospital full time, and I'm dating Marisa back at this point. So she's coming home at 9, like Mike's saying, she's coming home at 9 o'clock at night, and she's saying, yeah, I'm helping all these families, building the agency, helping all these agents. And I'm seeing all this interaction, and I got really intrigued by it. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. I'm like, let me see what's going on here, and let me see if I can actually, make some passive income. Let me see at least on the side if I can at least make a little bit more than what I would be making if I stay at the hospital and continue through medical school. So guys, I came in part-time, and I'll touch what that kind of looked like, because it wasn't an easy or simple transition. It was simple in the sense, buy leads dial, but you really have to make sure that you're working and that you're grinding out the leads and you're sending enough time, downloading time, making sure you have no white schedule. So with that being said, my first month of part-time, guys, I helped 18 families helped. And at that point in time, I just basically, put my head down, kept working. July started 2021. I believe then in 2022, I transitioned full-time back in January. My first year, like Mike said, I helped 550 families.
When you came in, you did the 18,000, your first full month. What kind of leads were you buying, and what exactly did your schedule look like?
So back then, I was buying the cherry pick, the CRM leads. I was given to me from my upline a hand stack of second chance mortgage. Now, to me, I had no idea what they were. Back then, I just knew they were leads. Literally, I was in an office, just sitting down in front of a computer, in front of a little desk. I got handed a dial tracker, a script, leads, and said, just call these. Legit, guys, no exaggeration, no prep. I had no idea. They were like, here's a script. You're going to call these people, follow this script to the T, and that's it. People will tell you no, yes, no, whatever. They gave me a couple words what to say at that point in time. I went through my list, guys, and yeah, they were second chance mortgage. To me, I had no idea. They were literally, guys, years old, probably 8, 9, 10 months old, 1 year, 1.5 years old. Some of them, they were reading 2020. It was funny thinking back in hindsight. But I'm down the guys, and the funny thing is, me being a new agent and not understanding the leads were, right, having that blind faith, just saying it's going to work out, I started to book, guys, 15, 16, 17 appointments. I'm not saying here that, wow, I did anything amazing. All I did is I believed in it, guys. I believed that, hey, this is going to work. So that's why I basically in the very beginning was a lot of cherry pick to the CRM. A lot of guys, CRM leads back then. Now it's the ILC. So ILC leads, and then basically second chance leads. I was working through them, and then whenever, guys, I would make some money, I would make sure I took at least double what I put the first time. I would put it back in the second time because I understood the concept that I had to keep reinvesting into my business, even as a new agent. Was I scared to? Of course. I ain't gonna like sit here and BS you guys and say, no, you know what? I'm 100% confident I could do that again the second month. I wasn't, but I understood that. Let me take a chance on myself.
Got it. When you first came aboard, Rami, how much money were you putting in? What was your initial investment to get
Between
started?
$500 to $1,000 every lead order. I understood that I needed 100 brand new leads, guys, to meet every single dial day. So whatever that looked like, guys, for a new agent on this call, if you're going to have brand new leads, that I'm not saying I had BPLs or 100 brand new, as in fresh, exclusive leads to me. It meant I had 100 brand new leads that I did not dial on that day. So whatever the case may be, on Monday I bought 100 leads. Let's say the 3-month-old internet leads. On Thursday, I would continue the same trajectory. I buy again 100-month, 3-month, and I'll go through those stacks back and forth until I resolve my leads. And it was a grind. I would keep going back and forth through the stacks until I booked my appointments.
What did a dial day look like for you? What time would you come in? What time would you start? How late would you dial until?
So I knew in the very beginning, I was lucky enough to have, Reese and Christina take me on my side to kind of help keep me on track to make sure I understood that 7:45, guys, you have to be in the office because at that point in time, you want to be in the office, in the zone, and have everything ready. And I don't mean print them all, at 7:30 a.m. and get ready that morning. I mean, the night before, print your leads, have a dial track ready, organize them. If you've already been doing this for quite some time, you should understand the counters you're going to be running. You know the type of lead you're doing. You're going to know your schedule for the next day. So what I was making sure I had that dial time, and it was basically 7:45 all the way until 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes, guys, it would fluctuate. I knew that I had to book 15 appointments. I'm in home, so guys, I only do strict in home. So I knew that I had to get 15 appointments. If I got 15 appointments over the next 2 days, I knew no matter what, even back then at my skill, I was able, to make enough to keep my bills up, to keep paying on, and keep living my lifestyle. So I had to, sit there from 7 a.m. Well, 7:30, 7:45, all the way up to 9 o'clock at night dialing. Some days I finished 1 p.m. Yeah, later on, but in the beginning, no, I was going up until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night.
With as much success as you've had, we have people every day that come aboard and they've never done insurance at all, and they want to immediately do telesales, and then they get upset when they're not good immediately. I mean, you're a $500,000 producer. What's kept you from jumping and going full time into telesales?
So I personally like in-home. So the reason, guys, what brought me to FFL to begin with was I worked in the hospital to help people, medically. Like I liked that way. I understood that I could do differential diagnosis. I could basically prescribe your medication. I can tell you what to do and how to do it, and it would kind of help your life, help you get better. Here at FFL, I can do that financially, right? So with that being said, the fact that you could kind of do the same two at the same time, to me, doing over the phone doesn't hold that personal interaction. And I understand that if I'm going to, help somebody with life insurance, I want to be right in front of them. If someone comes to my house or is talking to my mom or dad and they want to help them with life insurance, I want them to be right in front of me. And guys, I'll say that I could easily, right now at my mind, with my word track, I'm not just saying this, I just believe myself. I know I can switch to telesales, I can do virtual, but the fact of the matter is that it's one, I understand that me being in the field, I'm leading from the front, I'm setting a good expectation, and I want to make sure I'm always producing at the highest level. And I understand that right now, being in the field, in person, that's the best thing for me at this point in time.
It's incredible. Frank, it's crazy how many people we had on here. We hear all this AI, you hear all these things, all the automations, AI, all this special stuff, and Rami is just like old school, buying old leads and running face to face.
He's just grinding. Rami, how old are you?
32.
32. And so yeah, I love that because if I'm still running business, I would prefer to go face to face. It's just so much easier. So much easier. You can see their body language. First of all, they can't hang up on you, and nobody throws you out. I mean, I can count on one hand, probably one finger, how many times I've actually been thrown out of a house. But I mean, countless times I've been hung up on. You know what I mean? So I love that. It's just a lot of people aren't willing to put the miles on the car that you're doing.
I agree. No, that's very true, guys. And guys, for any new agent on the call who wants to come in and kind of do remote and do telesale, I'm not going to sit here and discourage you and tell you that, hey, you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. But what I will tell you is that the more efficient way to definitely produce and at least start your business strongly is going in the field, just like Frank and Mike are talking about. First of all, it's so much easier for me because I'm very direct in the home, guys. I'm probably just like how Mike and Frank are. I'm extremely straightforward. I mean that. Like, I do not BS around the home. I'm right to the point. Now, if I'm like that on the phone, I'm like that over Zoom, it's very quick for someone like Frank to hang up on me, right? Or not really take to my tone, or just listen and say, hey, Rami, you know what? I like what you said, but I don't really want to do business with you. In person, I can slip up a little bit. I can say something the wrong way, and I can easily constantly correct myself. But secondary, it's getting you out of your comfort zone, guys. If you guys are coming in already used to, waking up at home and just wanting to stay at home and work, how do you know you're going to, really push yourself to work and really grind? Get out in the field and having to drive around, having to, meet these families and seeing what it feels like to get no-show, driving 2 hours. You're like, no, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I'm not going to go at home and do telesales. I'm going to make sure when I get on the field, I'll double the appointments. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping my activity at such a high level, guys. So no matter what, I'm producing 50 to 60 families a month minimum, because I understand that you have to keep a high activity to do so. And you can do it on telesales. I'm sure a lot of people here are killing it on telesales, but in-home, guys, is the most more efficient way of doing so, especially as a new agent, just because you want to be able to understand how to actually sell in the home, how to dial, do things like that. And then after that, do exactly what they said, the AI, the whole nine. I'm a manual kind of guy. I don't do anything else. I don't use like Aweber, none of that. I'm just strictly on my phone and manually with my fans. That's it.
Frank, it sounds like you, man.
I mean, I think I agree. I think he could easily switch to transition to telesales at this point, because he understands the flow of an appointment and what he needs to ask, what's important to ask, what's not so important to ask. And I just think it makes it a little bit easier for a new agent. Like Rami said, we're not discouraging you, but you're gonna have to work 3 times as hard.
Facts. 100%.
That's okay. If you're willing to do it, do it. But for me, like I said, I love that. And once you start meeting with these people, it's kind of hard to give that up, because that's really what the fun is on this. First of all, I can't stand sitting in an office, so that's not my MO anyway. But yeah, I love it. Let me ask you a question, Rami. When as far as leads go, what do you, if you could pick one lead type, actually give me your top 2, which ones would it be?
So right now, today, at this point in time, I like mortgage protection mailers. I like final access mailers personally, like at this point in time.
Right.
Yeah, to answer that question directly.
And so can you explain these folks? They're like, but they're not new mailers because we can't get them.
No.
How old are these leads ranging?
So these are between probably, I'd say, 9 to 12 months, guys. And I mean that, no joke. Maybe even 3 to 6, so lucky. If I'm able to get, decent leads and decent amount, it'd be 3 to 6, but 9 to 12 months, guys, because it's really simple and it's cliche. We all say it. It's like a baseball game. If I have 1,000 at bats and Frank has 100, who has a better chance of hitting a home run? And he's bigger than me. I mean, right? He's probably going to know, but I'll go because I have 1,000 at bats, guys. It's a numbers game, simply put. So with that being said, yeah, no, they're not brand new leads. And why would I think about it? I'm not going to put down, guys, 8K, 9K, 10K a week on leads just to write $60,000 of volume. That's not profitable. That makes no sense. But if I'm able to go ahead and get, 9, 12-month-old leads and put in a decent return, 5, 10, 15K a month, and turn that into, 30, 40 profit, that's a different story. Dump that into the business and keep on going. So to speak, yeah. So that being said, guys, I work age of these guys, to say the least. And that's 3 to 6 months if I'm lucky, and 9, 12.
What's your drive radius? How far will you go out?
So I live in Mass, just like Connect's not too far, guys. So as you guys know, based like kind of New England. So I'd say between 30, 45 minutes is like my normal average drive time. Nothing too crazy. I don't have to go drive like 2 hours each appointment, but like 30, 45. With traffic, you can get to an hour. I'd say 30 or 45 minutes to each appointment.
That's not bad.
Yeah, just based off of where I'm at in Mass. Because Mass is a smaller state than most.
Population too, for sure.
Yeah.
Rami, so January of 2021, that's when you just quit. You stopped going to school, stopped the hospital, and you were full-time FFL, right?
So 2022, yeah. So New Year's, January 2022 is when I became my first full year. Yeah, exactly. So July 21st, 21 is when I started part-time, dabbled a little bit. And then basically October, come November, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to get into this full-time. And I remember I told myself, just like I knew it was, December 31st, I was like, I'm going to try to go in this full-time. And then I did. And the funniest thing was December week 4, I remember to this date, it was one of my biggest issue weeks. Then it was 28,000 in 1 week. And that was right before I went full-time. So to me, that was a sign like, all right, this is it. This is real. It's time to really focus and actually make this a tangible reality.
What did your schedule look like as a full-time agent when you made that decision? I'm going to quit everything else. I'm going here full-time. What did your schedule look like then? Because we have a lot of people that call themselves full-time, but they're not working a full-time schedule. What did your schedule look like?
All day, every day, guys. That's full time to me. And I mean that like all day, every day. So if it was Monday and Thursday, I'm a traditional Monday and Thursday dialing. I'm there from 8 to 8. I'm doing it till I book my 15 appointments. If I finish early, then I'm going to talk to some agents, trying to help them with their dial team, make sure they understand like, hey, they can get their appointments, need help in leads, talk to certain teams, and I'll talk to like lead vendors, things like that. Admin records, if I finish early. If I don't, guys, I'm dialing until 8, 9 o'clock until I finish. When I'm in the field, guys, I'm in the field, and I mean that. Like, you could ask Marisa, Christina, like, they'll tell you, like, I'm in the field. That's it. So when I go there, guys, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'll tell you, a lot of people on this call, when they hear me say that, they're probably like, oh, yeah, no, he just says that. No, like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then, yeah, and I'm telling you, if you guys do that consistently, you will see, like, okay, the biggest sales when they say they're at night, it's true, guys. The biggest sales I've had are at 9 o'clock at night, showing up to an 8 p.m. appointment an hour late because, just how time works. And they say, hey, come on over. They need help. And in the beginning, guys, that's how my schedule even was like. As a part-time agent, I would have one day off a week. I would take, let's say, to Tuesday. Tuesday would become my Monday. That'll be my dial day. That full day I'm dialing for the next 2 days. Then I work from 7 a.m. to 4 o'clock to 3:30. At 3:30, I'll come back home. Then from 4:30 and on, I'm in the field. That was as a part-time. So I was still working a full-time schedule, guys, but it was just on a part-time basis where I didn't have 2 dial days. But I still had to make sure that I put in that activity so I can, replace my income and then go into it full time. And then when I hit it full time in January, as Mike was touching on, I made sure, guys, that, like I said, I'm in the field, that I'm always meeting my appointments. If I get no-showed, I'm not driving to a Dunkin' Donuts or 7-Eleven parking lot, guys. I'm taking out leads and I'm door knocking. No joke, no bullshit, like no BS, guys. I'm taking out leads. I'm putting on a road warrior, and I'm literally gonna go door knock because I'm not trying to sit there in my GPS and plug in 18 different locations. I'll put them all in road warriors. Gonna do it for me. Takes me where I gotta get to. Let's say I'm lucky and I'm not having no shows that day, and I say I'm lucky and I don't have no shows that day because I always have no shows. We're human. What happens? I pick up the phone and I'll dial. I'll book more appointments for the following day. I'll make sure that, let's say, I can stack my day. So if I do get no showed instead of door knocking, I'll go into the next appointment that maybe I've stacked in that slot. And that's what my schedule looks like even to this day, guys. I'm just constantly on the phones because I want to build my business to like where Mike and Frank have it, to where I can teach my agents and I can really put time into them. But in order for me to do that, I have to produce at the top I can right now to be able to put that into my business.
And it's short term. I mean, it's not a long-term thing. And I mean, in short term to me is five years. This is legit. And we used to talk about that, Rami, when FFL started, was like 5 years. Let's do this in 5 years. Now we've been longer, but we have a bit of a shaky start. With the way the system's set up now, do you see any reason why you can't be exactly where you want to be within 5 years?
Oh no, definitely not. I could, even the way the system's set up now, even when I first joined till now, 2-3 years, guys, the business is rapidly evolving and changing. But as long as you're putting in that work, like Frank said, 5 years tops, you're right. Yeah, 100%, guys. You can do anything in this business, especially with the system. Guys, nothing about me is special, and I mean that. Now, I may be a little more direct than you guys in the home. I may, just be a little more direct in my words. However, outside of that, we all can follow the same exact system, do the same thing, ask the same probing questions. What happens when you die, Bob and Mary? What does it look like, Mary? When Bob died yesterday, what does that look like today? Just stop talking. Let them answer. Let them actually say, what does that look like when they passed? Right? We all can do that. Say that to your clients, guys. They're going to start talking it out. And at that point, your life insurance agent, how to do a life insurance, right? So with that being said, you follow this copycat system, this cookie cut. So if I can duplicate it and I can replicate it for myself, if Marisa could teach me exactly what she did and I copied her, why can't I teach to my other agent, which I am doing? And to what Frank just said, you can definitely grow this business within 5 years very easily, guys. It's a copycat industry. And as long as you're putting in the work, because the system is laid out, guys. The FFL has given us a foundation and all the resources and everything, what to do and how to do it. Just the ones who are actually going out there and implementing, who are actually taking the actionable steps and doing what they need to be, are the ones who are truly succeeding here and building it. And I do believe, yeah, I can definitely get there within 5 years.
Rami, when you talk about, you said you're more direct than probably most other agents. Give us some examples. Like what do you think other agents doing versus what you're doing? What is the difference?
So in a home, I'll push. And I mean that, like, if I'll sit down with you and you're telling me like, hey, you got to think about it, you don't want it. And I'll sit there and if you're with the wife, I'll say, explain to your wife that when you die, why it's okay for her to lose your income and for her to truly think that she cannot bury you. that she has to come out of pocket, call their brother, call their cousin, and I'll sit there and I'll literally push several times back and forth with them to make sure they understand that I'm there to help them. And a lot of agents, when they get the first, I'm not interested, they back off. They have no problem, saying, all right, the other guy doesn't want it. Like, I remember like Paul McLean always told me, you can do something to push 5, 10, 15 times to a client until they actually break down their wall and they say, okay, you know what? That makes more sense to me. Sometimes guys are just confused, right? Or maybe they're scared. They just don't really understand what's going on. So what we have to do is, just break down and explain. And when I say I'm very direct is I really have no problem telling someone to their face, like what you're saying makes no sense to me right now. Like if Bob makes 5,000 and Mary makes 2,000, and the
That's
mortgage
exactly
is
the way
3.
Frank is.
Legit, yeah, and the mortgage is 3, and he's like, no, if I die, she's okay. My pension will take care of it. And the pension's like $1,000. Like she's negative $2,000 right now. Like how is she even gonna stay in this house with her bills? And I'll tell someone that. And a lot of people they won't do that. They'll say, oh no, the pension, the 401k is okay. And even if it's enough, that's meant for retirement, guys. Remember that. Take this with you guys. If someone tells you they have 401k and pension, all this stuff, they're using that for retirement. They're not using that for when their spouse immediately dies in an untimely fashion. Now they have to pay for mortgage, estate planning, and all this extra stuff, right? They don't understand that and they're not anticipating that. So when they tell you I have a 401k, I have all this going on, congratulate them. Don't take it from them. Don't say, oh, it's so bad. Say, no, it's great you have that. But isn't that fair to say that you guys have retirement? You're not planning on, using this for XYZ? And a 401k, guys, just a dollar amount. Life insurance is, you can have a compounding a vehicle that has interest, like IULs, whole life, the whole 9, and it's tied to a large death benefit. So it does the same thing. Only difference is a 401k gets taxed and has no death benefit. It rolls to a beneficiary, but it's whatever the dollar amount is. There's nothing extra with it. So that's a little tangent in home, but that's when I'm a little bit more direct. I don't mind. I say my mind.
Yeah, it's huge.
Were you always direct, Rami, or did you have to learn to be more direct? And did you become more direct the more confident you became?
So yeah, so I'm always direct. I'll say that. I'm not saying I wasn't direct. I've always been direct, yeah. But you're right. As time went on, I've realized maybe you have to be a little bit more direct in this area. Like, highlight the income a little bit more. Maybe focus on the fact that, they make good choices in their life, but, right now where they're at, they have to focus on whole life, just basic burial and cremation. That's all they can afford. And then as with an agent, specifically talking to agents, I know I've gotten better as you through time. I've realized that, talking to an agent, don't talk at them. You can still be direct with someone, but don't speak at them, right? And that was my problem at the very beginning, was I was talking at my agents, not kind of to them. I had to realize that, don't talk at agents, but understand where they're coming from. Make sure they understand where you're coming from, and vice versa. Same thing with the client, right? When I'm telling the client what they're going on or what's going to happen, I want them to understand that I'm not doing it to sell them an item. I'm not doing it to make sure they feel bad about themselves. I'm doing this so they know that, hey, I want to protect you and your family, and this is how we're going to do it. But if I don't tell you this way, you're not going to listen to me, in my mind. And yeah, so definitely over time became more direct with certain situations, but I've always been, I think, direct, to me at least.
It helps too when you have so many appointments. Because when you have that many appointments, it's just as easy to walk away. So yeah. I mean, it's not like you're doing it because you need the sale. You're doing it because you see where the weakness is. You're going, you're not understanding what I'm telling you, right? So it just makes it so much easier. And if people understood that, this truly, I mean, would you say that this is simple?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely simple.
And how long did it take you to feel that way?
Don't look at all right away. When I saw the model, I was like, it's simple. And now Sean says like everyone can do this. Now, will everyone do it? No, but everyone can definitely do this. And yeah, Frank, no, it was simple. And right away when I saw the model, I was like, it's replicatable and it's simple. Like you can do this. You just got to follow the system.
And work. I love this, Mike. Bro, this is killing.
It's very, very, very simple. Everyone, I do this every time because I want people to kind of feel like they're getting, I mean, the amount of stuff you said is unreal and I picked up on all of it, but I think people always think it's a phone script. You're calling a year-old lead. How long did it take for you to feel comfortable dialing those, and what was the script that you used?
So no, I think probably maybe not long. And the phones will all get nervous right in the beginning, but after the first time I pick the phone and I get off my first pound stand, that's it. It's nothing. Like I'm a mask, guys. Like you'd be surprised. Like we have mask holes for a reason, right? So the phones are nothing to me. I'll be honest. Phones are easy. But over time, the script I use, I basically say age more. I can role play with you if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do it.
With age mortgage.
Let's do it so everyone can call 1-year-old leads more.
Per ring.
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, this is Rami Hamady. I'm just calling from the Mortgage Protection Center. I'm just getting back to you regarding the mortgage on 123 Main Street with Rocket Mortgage. Now, I'm calling you back, Mike, regarding a form that you filled out a little while back. Now, this was regarding the mortgage protection coverage. It was that postcard that you filled out in the event you became sick or disabled or passed away. It covered a loan for you and the family. You remember doing that, right?
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, it really was. I know, man. I'm sorry I'm calling you right now, Mike, but the purpose of my call is I'm just the underwriter who is assigned to your case, and we've been backed up in requests, and I'm sorry that your file is still open, and I can't believe that no one's got out there by now to get that information to you. I'm just going to verify a couple pieces of information that you have provided so I can work with the proper options for you. So I see you put in your age as 44 years old on 123 Main Street. That's correct?
Yep.
And are you a smoker, Mike, or a non-smoker?
Non-smoker.
And are you currently married, divorced, widowed?
Married.
All right. And is your wife healthy as well, non-smoker?
Yes.
Perfect. And no major health concerns, correct?
Nope.
All right. And the both of you guys are still working, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. And most importantly, now, when you did make this request, what was your biggest concern or who are you looking to protect? Now, most families might pursue this coverage one of three reasons. They just want to make sure in the event where they get sick, unemployed, or disabled, they have enough income to maintain their lifestyle while they're alive. Most importantly, God forbid they pass away, their family can maintain the mortgage and maintain their income. Which category do you fall under? It was a combination of both.
It was a combination of both.
Okay, I understand why you sent in the request. So, Mike, again, my name is Rami Hamady. I am just a state underwriter or the field underwriter who's been assigned to your case. My job is real simple. It takes me about 15 minutes to get that information out to you and show you the programs you may qualify for. Now, they do have me wrapping up with a handful of other homeowners up in your county on both Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Now, typically, what time are both you and your wife home from work on a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Usually at 7:30.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze you in between appointments at around a 7:45 or 8:15 on Tuesday. Is there any reason you and your wife will not be home that day?
Nope, we'll be there.
Awesome. Mike, could you do me a favor? Grab a pen and paper so I can tell you a little about myself.
Okay, got it.
Perfect. So my first name is Rami, Rami. My last name is Hamady, Hamady. My phone number is 617-775-9415. Now, Mike, I'm 6 feet tall and I got a really big nose, so I'm hard to miss, okay?
Okay.
All right. And Mike, what color is the house? Just so I know where to park when I show up. I don't want to block anybody's driveway.
Blue.
All right. And should I park in your driveway or do I park on the street?
Street.
Awesome. And I should ring your doorbell or just give a knock?
Do both.
Awesome. And what time to have you guys down again for?
8 o'clock.
Perfect. All right, Mike. So all I kind of asked for just for a 15-minute window on either side, just contingent upon the homeowner before you. I may come 15 minutes early, but they may arrive 15 minutes late. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I look forward to meeting you, protecting you and your family. Take care.
Bro, that is a long tie down. My God.
Dude, it's great though.
It is, yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall and I got a really big nose. You can't be.
Legit, yeah, all the time.
I'm looking at him. I'm going, if I was on the phone with him, not knowing what he looked like, I'd be trying to picture what he looked like. And it works though.
Yeah.
And you're even giving out your phone number, like, and we never did that because I don't want.
I hear you, man. And guys, the reason why I got long tie down too, because it works. Like, it really does, guys. They don't know show you like them. They get it. Like, they understand what it's for. Trust me, they do. And if they're gonna cancel, they're gonna call you back like 10 minutes later and say, "All right, what was this about?" And then at least go on your dial day. You keep on going, and that's the reason why my kind of script is built that way. That's for age as well. If it's a little bit newer, be a little straight to the point. But yeah, that's what the script for age.
Bro, you would do that from 8 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night when you were brand new, until you got
Yeah, until I get my appointments down, because I understood that, like, what I needed to work, man. Because at the end of the day, guys, think about it. If all of us, whoever's on this call right now, if you graduated high school or college and then you told yourself, or anyone told you, all you have to do for 2 days out of the week is dial for 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours, right? Go on the phone for a call center, 8, 12 hours. And then you go the next couple of days and you're driving in the car for 6 hours a day. But I can guarantee you $10,000 a week. Would you do it or would you not?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to hop on that job. Exactly. Same thing, guys. All you got to do is put in the work. Just trust me, put in the work, put in the activity, believe in yourself, buy the leads. Don't be scared of leads, guys. Leads, think of them like a scratch ticket. And I mean that. I don't mean that in a frugal way, but I mean that as in look at the lead like you never know what's going to happen because it's a family who needs the help. And what if that was your mom? What if that was your family, your cousin, your mom, maybe your girlfriend's brother, the whole nine, right? So you want to make sure that you can get through your stack and you can help those families, because when you do that, you're going to keep your activity high. You can keep that mentality that you're helping a family, and it's going to make you feel good about yourself, guys. I mean that. And then once you start making the money, it just all makes much more sense. You help more agents and you help someone else do it, and they impact a lot. They can, buy their baby kids something else, and they can take their kids to college. And it really, guys, it matters. It truly does.
Wow. Good stuff. Rami, what's your goals in terms of agency? How soon are you trying to get to, we'll say EVP and then board member?
Yeah, so trying to get to EVP hopefully for like in less 3-4 months. I'm hoping to hit EVP literally. And I'm
EVP,
hoping
so everyone knows, is 500,000.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to get to board member at least by end of year or in a year from now. Like at least 12 months from today's day, I should be on board member. There's no reason why I don't see myself at board member.
$1 million team. There you go.
Yes.
If he just teaches people to do exactly what he's, and I know that sounds simple, but he's actually doing it. So it's not as complicated as some of y'all have been trying to build this thing for a long time and you're like not getting anywhere. When you're doing 40, 50, 60, 70 grand a month and you're working your ass off, all you have to do is tell people to watch what I do. And you either join me or you don't join me. You don't have time, Rami, you don't have time to waste time with agents, do you?
No, not at all, Frank. If an agent calls me and they're not working, now if they're working, I'll hear you. I'll listen to you, bitch. I'll listen to you complain if you're working, right? And I mean it. And that working to me is not producing 10, 15, 20K. If you're buying leads, you're dialing, and you're getting out there, you're getting kicked in the face. I'll deal with you. If you call me on some BS of like, hey, I bought 30 leads and I can't book an appointment, I can't make sense. No, get off my phone. I can't talk to you right now. Call me back when you're trying to work, all right? I'll be honest, guys.
Man.
I love it.
Jamie on here, she always has some good questions.
Sorry, I had it muted. She's here that she's getting rid of the dogs. What are the 3 most common objections you get with that script?
So I already got that taken care of. I get that a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I already got that taken care of. So when they do that, I'll be like, all right, Frank, I understand you got taken care of. Now, the purpose of my call is my job is to do an annual review just to make sure you're in the best rate class and the best program possible. So it's a quick 10-minute conversation just to make sure, again, that you're in the best program possible. And I'm going to come down in your area on Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's like a quick set. And I try to get in there, look at the policy. And if it's an FL agent, guys, I don't rewrite it. What I'll do is I'll either add coverage or I'm trying to basically put him in a financial vehicle, retirement, IUL, annuity, find the money, things like that. But if it's not FL agent, it's, game on. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to try to, help that family out. If I can better serve them. If I can't, sure. Many times, guys, I leave. Yeah, many times I just go in the home. I'm like, hey, you're in the best of hands. You can't afford this. I'm on to the next. And it helps my schedule. It really does. It's funny how the universe works. And again, I'm not interested. I'm interested a decent amount. And I say, I get that, Frank. I'm not interested either. However, it is my job to release liability and complete my internal requirement. With that being said, I just have to get out there and lay my eyes on you. Just make sure you are who you say you are and close out your file. Get your eligibility out to you regarding your mortgage protection coverage. And with that being said, we'll close out your file. Okay? Does that sound fair? And a lot of time, guys, you're going to say, yeah. They're going to say, yeah, it does sound fair. Yep, that's okay. No worries.
Release liability. I love that. Say that one more time. My job is to release liability and what?
Yeah, so I said my job is to release my liability and complete my internal requirement, which means getting the eligibility requirements out to you and closing out your file. And guys, who internal requirement is it? It's mine. It's my agency. I own my business. That's my agency. It's my requirement. All my agents, their requirement, release liability. Because guys, if you have a lien in front of you and they were not helped yet and they pass away, like you're liable for that. Think about that. Seriously, like it's our job to go out to protect and serve. So when I have the lien in front of me, I take it serious, guys. No joke. And now, like, I know we're laughing, but like, I really do. I tell them I have to release liability. If you tell me no, I'm coming to your house. I have a big refusal of coverage slip and you're signing it. Like you're understanding that you're declining all life insurance for your family. You don't care about them. Like I can't care about your family more than you do. And then you're signing it and that's it.
I love that. And then what's the third one?
Yeah, and then so I'm not interested. I need that taken care of, or I don't want you coming to my house, especially nowadays. Like, oh, I don't want you coming over right now. And I say I understand that, but they make me lay eyes on you to make sure you're not 500 pounds. You don't carry any type of oxygen tank, any type of catheter, or any kind of assisted living device for suitability purposes. And if they really, really push and that doesn't get to them and they still say, you know what, I don't want you coming over, I say, okay, due to the pandemic, the state has allowed me to complete these appointments virtually and over Zoom or over the phone. Which one do you prefer? Would you rather do a Zoom or over the phone appointment? And then I'll kind of transition to more virtual route. But typically, guys, when I say that 500 pounds, they start laughing and they say, oh, okay, no, I get it. Come on over. All they want to do is just, make sure it's not a scam and that you're a real person. And when you make little jokes and self-deprecating humor, like that big nose comment, guys, it works because they understand, like, all right, he's human. He's not trying to sell me. He wants to come and get the information I requested out to me.
Love it.
Phenomenal. Rami, I appreciate it, man. He just showed, I think probably the number one reason why, I know why, the number one reason why people don't have success here is picking up the phone and dial. We had a lock-in. I saw a lot of people just don't dial, and I get it, man. I mean, I'm always the same way, but once I make that first phone call, I keep going. But unfortunately, some people never overcome that first call. They're just not dialing during the day. They're not, the activity is never there to have success here. And really, that's all it is. Now, you're obviously pretty smart. You were in medical school. You're almost a doctor, right? Do you think everyone needs to be a doctor to have success?
No, guys. The reason why I joined this business is because when I went to my very first sales conference, it was up in Tewksbury here, and I looked around, like all walks of life, guys, literally all different walks of life. People with accents, no college degree, people smarter than me, not like, guys, it's anyone can do this. Literally, anybody can do this business. It's about, just like Frank and Mike said, who's willing to go the extra mile, who's willing to actually put in the activity and do what they're going to say they're going to do and do it over and over again, even when they're not seeing the result. And when they're not seeing the result, instead of complaining about it, who's going to contact their upline, reach up and out, make their card rolling university, and keep on going, guys. Like at this point in time, like me and Rizzy could go on vacation every month if we wanted to, but we truly, like, the reason why we haven't went out anywhere, like I don't go out, guys. I don't go on vacation. I don't go out to eat. Like I'm sitting at home, I get Uber Eats, I'll cook. Like I have HelloFresh at times. Like it's funny, but the reason I do that is because I'm trying to really focus. Like Frank said, 5 years, guys. 2-3 years, guys. And if I can, work hard now to play in my 50s and 60s, I'm gonna bust my ass off my 20s, 30s, and 40s, because when I'm 50 and 60, I want to, have a good life, raise a family, just like, Mike and Franco. And just, you always want to make sure everything, is good for the best for me and the families I help protect, and my agents as well, guys, most importantly. But I got to get there first to help my agents. If I don't, how can I lead anybody without getting there first?
Good on luck. Rami, you're a beast, bro. Appreciate
it, guys.
I appreciate you. Good. Congrats on your success, Rami. I don't know if you look, but you're number 48 in the company, which is crazy. I mean, you're at $1 million, bro, and you're number 40. Frank, did you meet Rami before?
I don't know if we've ever met face to face.
I think maybe one thing I think I mentioned, in the Hall of Fame dinner, but outside of that, I think that was it. Frank,
do you remember 8 years ago, anyone that was doing 500, you knew, because there were like 3 people.
Oh yeah, there have been, yeah. It's great.
I mean, it's just unbelievable what people are doing now.
Rami, could you text like a copy of that refusal of coverage form?
Yeah, 100%. I get you. No problem.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
I appreciate everyone. We'll see you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock. Let's kill it the rest of this week. We got 2 weeks left to report our IP numbers. Let's go.